I know people will be complaining there's a totally different set of rules to what it was the last day between Kilkenny and Tip, but at least he blew both teams for the same type of freeze.
He was
and even at the end, he was very, very consistent, and that's all you want from a referee, you know. So at least the next day, now probably he won't be refereeing the next day, you know, but if he was refereeing the next day, at least the players would know what they were facing, you know. And even Kilkenny giving away the last free there, you know, there was no need for it. There was no need to dive in on the man, because all through the game he was given frees for tackles like that. But you know, in the heat of the moment, this was the last minute of an All-Ireland.
Looking around the stadium here, Liam Sheedy, Galway supporters are holding their breaths, holding each other, waiting to see what was going to happen. Joe Canning had missed a chance just before that. You always feel a player like Joe Canning, another fella would be completely rattled by that. He stood up and he took the free. Let's have a look at this.
Yeah, he did, and it was a tough free. You know, it was much harder than the one he missed. Yeah, the free in the first place. I mean, Irritania got a great touch to the ball. David Lennon, he's going down along the side. Now he's well covered. Now, okay, you might say that, but at the end of the day, I feel Jackie Tyrrell went in a little bit up high, and you know, it's a difficult free. And you know, I mean, what a strike. I mean, that's literally over the black spot. You know, I mean, that just shows the composure. But I mean, he's been doing that in college games and club games. There's nothing new to that. I mean, he just kept his composure. He had his routine, stuck to his routine. And I think it would have been, you know, it would have been very tough for a player that's done so much, lit up this championship in 2012 to lose it and have missed the previous.
With Joe, instead of being disappointed or being downcast after the last one, he'd have been raging with himself.
Yes.
He'd have been waiting for another one like that, just to show what he could do. That's the character of the man. They all missed chances today. You know, all missed chances.
Like, Kilkenny missed quite a bit in the first
quite a lot. And like, one thing that happened in the second half there, Michael Finlay got a ball when there were 2 points up, just in front of us here, about 40 yards out. He was on his own, and he hand passed the ball to Henry, who was in a worse position, and got under pressure, and Henry hit it wide. You know, it'll just show you how rattled Kilkenny were. You know, they were really, really rattled.
But I think, Jared, that comes back to the point that Michael Finlay wasn't in the game today. He didn't have his usual flowing game, so you know, he wasn't in a confidence space. He felt he hadn't enough done. He said, there's Henry, he's having a stormer. I'll pass it out to him.
And it's the same with Conall Finlay, like, you know, when your touch is right and your confidence is up and you get 1 or 2 scores and you're hitting the top of the ground, when you get a chance like that, you don't miss, you know. I mean, a great save by Skell.
Well, you mentioned it, Skell's save. I mean, there were so many potential turning points in this game. He tried to swallow the ball, having saved it.
The thing about Skell is, like, he's so confident. He doesn't, a big man, great physical presence. Now, of course, it's Henry Shefflin here again. Look at that flick. Very like what he did in the Leinster final. Now, Finlay has it here. He goes for his right, which would be James's traditional weak side, we'll say. And he gets down. Now, if he had just flicked it out, or he could
was trying to flick it up,
but he didn't get it the first time. And like, his body kind of got in the way of his hurley.
There was everything coming there. There was a hurley flying through the air as well. You know, so I mean, it was a great stop. But the important thing when the ball hit the ground was, don't let it in, because there was boots coming in there, and all they needed was a touch into the back of the net, and that could have been curtains for Galway.
Which is, there'll be so many talking points going home this evening, how we could have won it, you know.
At least nobody has lost it, which I think is the main thing.
You know, if ever you would say that a draw was a fair, even with 50 minutes to go, we were saying it, that a draw is the only correct result here, and let him come out in 3 weeks' time, battle it out, and someone win it that day. But to be a shame for somebody to have lost it today by just 1 point.
Kilkenny were behind this game. At half-time, I said to you, this is Galway's more or less to lose. Now they have their chance here. And Kilkenny, of course, you know they're going to do, came out in the second half. And their comeback was incredibly impressive because things hadn't been going right for them.
No, it was incredibly impressive. I mean, they'd scored 7 points in the first half. They literally only got 3 points in play. So they were really on the back foot. TJ Reid, the only forward operating. But the second half, they were completely different. And, you know, in fairness to TJ Reid again, in the second half, you know, that's a great score off his left-hand side. And they were trying to drag themselves back into the game at this stage. And they literally brought the game to Galway in that second half. And you know, the breaking ball, here's Aidan Fogarty, you know, a blistering game the last day, much quieter today. I think you'd have to say David Collins had a better of it, but again, doing what he could, popping onto the break. And of course this man in the blue helmet, Brian Hogan, what a second half he had. You know, he was towering in the centre. And again, Henry, look up with that hand, you know, I mean, just all through. That's a fabulous score. I mean, that was a time now where really overall the team weren't performing. They were under pressure. And I thought, you know, we talked about leaders before the game. You had Brian Hogan, you had Henry Shefflin. They stood up and said, lads, we'll have to drag ourselves back into the game. And that's what they done.
OK, much more analysis and reaction to come, so don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break. 2012 All-Ireland hurling final has ended all square. Here at Croke Park, it finished Galway 2 goals, 13 points, Kilkenny 19 points. That's the first draw since 1959. Of course, also the minor match ended in a draw. Dublin 116, Tipperary 213. Both replays to take place on Sunday, September the 30th. But let's hear from the Kilkenny manager, Brian Cody. He's with Clare.
Brian, you've been involved in many All-Ireland finals. Any as dramatic as that?
Well, it's the first time I've been involved in one that ended in a draw for sure, Claire. It was an amazing game, I suppose, really. Galway were very, very much on top, I'd say, the first half, went in, I think, 5 points up. And we, I suppose, were decent in the second half, and we had a lead coming up to the end of it, and they got the equaliser. So, look, it's an amazing kind of a day to find 2 All-Ireland finals drawn, minor and senior, so we'll start all over again.
They got the equaliser with that last free. Your thoughts on that? You look to hotly be disputing it with Anthony Cunningham on the sideline.
Look, that's the way it works, what I thought about it doesn't really matter really at the end of the day. The referee can't make changes for our team either. That the referee decides who gets frees and who doesn't get frees. I can't do that, so that's the way it works.
Galway, as you mentioned, were certainly the stronger side in the first half, but you came right back into it in the second half, led very much by Henry Shefflin. Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. He came to centre forward, and he just upped things in a big way. He won hard ball and got a lot of things going for us. But he's been doing that for a long time, so it's no surprise. Now, Colin Fennelly almost pulled off a goal. The free that came from, the penalty that came from that with Henry Shefflin, should he have gone for goal? I haven't the slightest idea, Claire. I never tell Henry what to do in those situations. He looked at me and I just shrugged my shoulders, I don't tell him what to do in those situations. And look, if he had gone for the goal, had been saved, it would be a crazy decision in everybody's mind. If he'd gone for a goal, if he had scored it, he'd have been a genius. So he got a point to put us ahead, so that's fair enough. I suppose it could have been a game changer, but these are big decisions on the big days. Absolutely, yeah, and almost all the decisions he made out there today were excellent. So look, he put it all over the bar. That's just one of the things that happened, but it was a kind of a dramatic day. Obviously, two drawn finals and seriously a dramatic game again. It was seriously dramatic again. Just give me that last free. Did you think personally it was a free? I didn't think it was a free, but that's not the point. I don't necessarily. I don't have a terrific reputation as a referee or anything like that, So referees the game, and that's fair enough as far as I'm concerned. Okay, we look forward to it all again in 3 weeks' time. That's grand, Claire. Yeah. Thank you, Brian. Okay. We will indeed, and the big question, I suppose, Liam Sheedy, is who's going to win out in 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's very much back in a melting pot. Galway will probably feel after their first half performance they were well on top, and we felt it even here. They were 7 up, and if they had to kick on and get 1 or 2 more ahead, and Kilkenny clawed their way back in, and they left Kilkenny in the game, and they came out with all guns blazing in the second half. So some guys will be going home having won their personal battles. More guys are going home saying, God, I lost my personal battle in Croke Park. But the great thing about hurling is that all those personal battles count for nothing. It's all about September the 30th now, and I think you'll see another cracking game. I think it was definitely the fairest result. It was for anyone that was here as a neutral, we're talking about bringing people home to watch the matches for All-Ireland. What a spectacle we've seen today. I think there's no doubt about it. Greatest game on earth, fabulous game today. It had everything, and I can't wait for 3 weeks' time.
And neither can we. We're coming to the close of our coverage from Croke Park this afternoon, but there's still plenty more to come on today's final. Now, the evening edition of the Sunday game will reflect on all the talking points from today's pulsating hurling final, as well as naming man of the match from today's final. That's 9:30 here on RTE2. Now, also during the week, there's another edition of our weekly GAA magazine show, Championship Matters. Join Marty Morrissey and panel for more on all of the current happenings in Gaelic games. And another big final to look forward to next Sunday here at Croke Park. That's the All-Ireland Camogie final between Cork and Wexford. We'll also be covering the intermediate final between Derry and Galway, and we are on the air next week at 1:45. Okay, that's where we have to leave it for now. The men from Galway and Kilkenny will have to do it all over again 3 weeks' time, Sunday, September 30th. Liam Sheedy, Gerard and Tomás Mulcahy have been here with me for the day. My special thanks to them. But from all of us here in Croke Park, for now, bye-bye.